Our Instrumentalist of the Year's old school warmth of tone and lyrical interpretive style, coupled with a rare catholicity of taste, sets him apart from every violinist of his generation. He made his orchestra debut at age 14 with the Philadelphia Orchestra, conducted by none other than our Musician of the Year. In March, they're going to perform the Beethoven Violin Concerto on a European tour with the Philharmonia Orchestra. It's interesting how all these coincidences we learn after we've chosen the musicians. A high point for the Instrumentalists this year was teaching young musicians and performing at the White House for First Lady Michelle Obama's music series to celebrate the arts. At the evening concert for the President, First Lady, and many dignitaries and guests, he brought down the house with a wild Ravel Cigan, and New Yorkers can look forward to hearing him with the Philharmonic in April and in the summer at mostly Mozart. And maybe he'll do Cigan again as an encore. Our Instrumentalist of the Year and my fellow Hoosier, Joshua Bell.
Wow, thank you so much. This is a great honor. I've received a few awards before, but this is, for Musical Americas, is something really special. I remember in my house in Bloomington, Indiana, we always had the big copy of Musical America growing up, and that was sort of the window to the music world from in the middle of nowhere in Bloomington. And my mother, who really learned music. I mean, she was a wonderful amateur musician, but really learned about the music world along with me. She used to read it from, cover to cover. I think she was finding out who my competition was and who was going to be, but she knew more about the music world than I did, a lot due to Musical America. So I would really appreciate getting this award. In this room are so many people that were instrumental in me being an instrumentalist. I'd like to just say thanks to as many of them as I can remember and see in the audience. Let me I'll go in chronological order. I guess that would be you, Mom, right? You would be the first. I think she was. My mother is here, and she was, I guess you're the first person I met ever. And soon after, my sister Toby, who's here as well, my little sister Rachel, unfortunately is not here tonight, but I'm so grateful to my mother and my father, who's not alive anymore, for bringing me into music in such a loving way, because they didn't expect me to become a musician. They just loved music, and so I'm very grateful to them, and Toby for putting up with me practicing. And she was a wonderful pianist herself, but she went into her own thing. But let's move along a little bit, because let's cut my first birthday. No. I would like to acknowledge the impact that Maestro Muti had on me, because for him it was just a weekend in his busy and important and wonderful life of making music. But for me, as a 14-year-old, it was it was probably the most important weekend of my life, playing those concerts in Philadelphia. It was your first, I think it was your first year. This is 1982. Maybe it was your first season. And I believe you inherited, was it your third already? Okay. I was only 14. Cut me some slack. But somehow I think you inherited the obligation to play with the 14-year-old who won a competition. And so you could have very easily said, please, I don't need to do this, because I'd played very few places, and but you were very gracious, and I remember auditioning for you, playing the Mendelssohn and the Tchaikovsky concertos, which I really wanted to play one of the two, but you asked for Mozart, which I went along with. And looking back, it was probably a very wise and decision. But it was a great. It was the single most important concerts of my life. From that, everything came. It was. I just loved the experience, except for one little instance in the middle of the cadenza, which you won't remember, but and you probably weren't even aware at the time, but my rubber band that was holding onto my shoulder rest started to come loose during the middle, just before the cadenza. And during the tutti, before I came in with my cadenza, I was frantically trying to pull the rubber band back across to secure it, and I accidentally let go and hit the principal violist right in the head. And so this was my debut. They passed it up along and gave it back to me. But besides that, it was really, everything went pretty smoothly. So I want to thank you. And I'm just happy that I'm here on the same night that you're in the room, and I look forward to getting to play with you again later this season. And just a few. From that concert, my managers, the people who became my managers, it really came from that concert. That was Charlie Hamlin and Edna Landau, both of whom are here. And I think those.
You remember the gin rest.
You remember? These were the days where they could barely afford an ad in the musical America. It was Hamlin Landau, and they just, it's incredible what they did, and my going with them, I think, it was one of the best things I ever did, and so thank you both for everything you've done and sticking. We've been together now. Elizabeth, who was working with them as a not much older than me. She's now my main person after 20-some years. It's amazing. So it's so nice to have this continuity. And Matt Zell, who worked with the two of them today, I work with them, and I just couldn't imagine life as a musician without having them behind me all the time. So just a couple more thanks. Peter Gelb, I see, is here. Peter, thank you for everything you did when you took me on at Sony, and it's great to see you. I miss you. I don't see you enough anymore. And Jane Kovner, my publicist, who's here, and who am I leaving out? There's, huh? Oh, sorry. Oh, well, Sony now, of course. There are a lot of Sony people here today who
And Decca as well.
Is there Decca here? Thank you all for. Are you sitting together? Okay. Anyway, thank you all for. There's so many people that have been so helpful, and so thanks for everything to all of you, and just thanks again to Musical America. You're great, and thanks for the great honor. Thank you.
I just want to tell everyone that Live from Lincoln Center is going to present Josh and many of the people who are on his CD, which you're going to get in the goodie bag when you leave. Let's see, Sting, Chris Botti, Tiempo Libre, Kristen Chenoweth, Regina Spektor, and I'm sure many others. They're right here in the Kaplan Penthouse next month. So tune in to Channel 13, PBS, all that.
Thanks.